All right, morning everybody. Sorry I'm a little late to the show. Things are in disarray. You can kind of see the horrendous background, the weird framing today. I had actually ordered in one of the new GoPro 7s. Cool little device. Had a 5 before. The 7's definitely made some advancements. The intention was to stream off of this morning. Did not happen. In a bid to get things set up quickly, I'm actually streaming from my phone, but using my phone as an HDMI input into my laptop. Of course, as I'm looking into the feed and realizing right behind me is my big 4K DSLR that I just didn't plug in. Experimenting is the name of the game when it comes to streaming. So thanks for joining the show. This is Mornings with Mark, already up to episode 114. Wow. Today I want to talk about an article that's floating around about a research study that was done. Very, very interesting study on, I'm just looking here in the background. So from a professor, the study targeted a professor called Alan Mislove, who was part of the project. And essentially what they were doing was a test to see if the Facebook could target ads with information that wasn't directly given to it. And that seems kind of really interesting, right? So basically the concept, the principle, I'm sorry about the audio here. The principle was simple, was that Professor Mislove knew what he had provided to Facebook as far as information, and using his office number, which is not in his Facebook profile, they looked to see if they could target an ad to show him specifically. And only him. And of course, within a couple of hours, within the day, that ad actually showed up in his profile, like on his timeline. So this is really interesting because that's not supposed to actually be possible according to what people commonly believe about Facebook and its targeting ads. In that you have created a profile as a user, Facebook then uses that profile and the behavior of you on their network in order to target ads at you, right? That's how they make money. We heard that directly from Mark Zuckerberg in his testimony in front of the U.S. House and the U.S. Congress, was that they sell ads and that's how they make money. So the common perception was basically based on what you do and what you provide Facebook, they'd be able to target ads. Well, this study proves what's long been understood behind the scenes, what's long been suspected, is that Facebook compiles every piece of information they can get about you. That means going out to data brokers. That means going out to third-party sources. That means things like the Beacon, things like comments on third-party websites who use Facebook for login and Facebook for comments, and buying data from other sources and pulling all of this information together to create what's called a shadow profile. So your profile is what you control. It's what you see. Your shadow profile is all of this compiled information. It's your behavioral information. Anything and everything that the company can get their hands on to better understand you. Now, I did this a few months back where I wrote a little tool and pushed up a visual of how Facebook had accurately tracked my location, even though I don't give it a location. And it does that by scanning all the photos that people do upload to see if there's data for location data in those photos, and then linking the logged in IP to the photos when it can, and cross-referencing and doing all sorts of cool things in the background. So essentially trying to figure out, to build this geo-IP database. That's a glimpse at what it does in the background of trying to compile this additional information. And one of the things that was really troubling was that the profile that they used in this study showed that one of the things they were using was also the second factor authentication phone number, which according to what they say in the UI shouldn't be. That should be a GDPR violation because they're not telling you what they're using it for, though I'm sure it's buried in the legalese somewhere. But at the bottom line is Facebook has a lot more information about you than you know or realize, and that's because there's an entire ecosystem that's rarely talked about called where was I going? See, gotta hit the notifications off. For those of you on the podcast, notification popped down on my screen because I'm in iOS and it's mirroring it basically to the vlog. So for this entire ecosystem underneath called data brokers, and what they do is they compile as much information as they can about you, and then they go through, and what they'll do is pull in these data sources and then sell that profile out. And Facebook, obviously, as a consumer, would be shocked to no one if Google was also a consumer there. So there's lots of scary stuff going on behind the scenes, and I think it really comes down to a tweet that I'll try to retweet that I saw yesterday, I think, that basically said, count on any piece of information you've ever given any company anywhere being monetized at some point. I think that's extremely true. I think there's a lot of questions that are around, what we're doing, who we're giving information to, how that information is being passed around. Highlights yet again the need for strong regulation for data privacy globally. There are some jurisdictions that have that, some jurisdictions that sorely lack that. The U.S. being one of them that lacks significantly. California may get strong regulation in 2020 if it doesn't get watered down by then. But essentially, the U.S. doesn't have the concept in law of the privacy and data protection. There's, outside of healthcare. So there's a lot of scary stuff going on there. And a lot of companies making a lot of money from our data behind the scenes. I'm a firm believer in being able to control our own data to clearly understand when companies are using it, how they're using it. What about you? What do you think? How do you handle your personal data? How do you handle sharing things online? Let me know. Hit me up online. Other side, there we go. At MarkNCA. And for those of you on the vlog, as haphazard as it was today, hit me up in the comments down below. And as always, for podcast listeners and for everybody else, you can hit me up by email, me at markn.ca. I hope you have a fantastic Friday. Hopefully it is more put together than this vlog and the start of my day. Enjoy the weekend. I will talk to you online, and I will see you on the show on Monday. Have a good one.